जिंदाबाद।
मजदूरों का जले मसाल,
भागे दुश्मन और दलाल,
मजदूरों का जब जले मसाल,
भागे दुश्मन और दलाल।
इनकलाब जिंदाबाद,
जिंदाबाद जिंदाबाद
प्रगतिशील सीमेंट श्रमिक संघ जिंदाबाद,
जिंदाबाद जिंदाबाद
प्रगतिशील सीमेंट श्रमिक संघ जिंदाबाद,
जिंदाबाद जिंदाबाद
सेनाधारित इंजीनियरिंग मजदूर यूनियन जिंदाबाद,
जिंदाबाद जिंदाबाद
होलसेल मैनेजमेंट मुर्दाबाद,
मुर्दाबाद मुर्दाबाद
होलसेल मैनेजमेंट मुर्दाबाद,
मुर्दाबाद मुर्दाबाद।
होलसेल का तानाशाही राज नहीं चलेगा,
नहीं चलेगा नहीं चलेगा
एसीसी होलसेल का तानाशाही राज नहीं चलेगा,
नहीं चलेगा नहीं चलेगा।
संगठन को आतंकवाद कहने वाले होलसेल मुर्दाबाद,
मुर्दाबाद मुर्दाबाद
संगठन को आतंकवाद कहने वाले बहुराष्ट्रीय कंपनी होलसेल मुर्दाबाद,
मुर्दाबाद मुर्दाबाद
इनकलाब जिंदाबाद,
जिंदाबाद जिंदाबाद
इनकलाब जिंदाबाद।
जिंदाबाद जिंदाबाद।
तो जो हरा वाला जो ड्रेस दिया है कंपनी, वो परमानेंट एम्प्लॉइज वर्कर का है, और जो लाल वाला जो ड्रेस दिया है वो कॉन्ट्रैक्टर लेबर है। कॉन्ट्रैक्टर लेबर है और साथ साथ उसमें वेतन में भी फ़र्क है। परमानेंट एम्प्लॉइज का लगभग वेतन है 15,000 रुपये, और जो लेबर कॉन्ट्रैक्टर का है वो तो अपना वही 4,500-5,000 रुपये है। और इन लोगों के लिए 2-2 गेट भी है, परमानेंट एम्प्लॉइज के लिए अलग गेट और लेबर वर्कर जो कॉन्ट्रैक्टर लेबर है उनके लिए अलग गेट आने जाने के लिए।
The traditional Indian cement companies like ACC, Ambuja Cement, etc. have now been taken over by multinationals. Particularly Holcim is a Swiss-based multinational. It's probably one of the largest multinationals in the world. And now it is the topmost cement manufacturer of India also. We have been basically struggling for the contract workers who are working in the cement industry.
होलसेल मैनेजमेंट होश में आओ,
होश में आओ होश में आओ
राष्ट्रीय कंपनी होश में आओ,
होश में आओ होश में आओ।
घर से समझौता हम तैयार हैं,
तैयार है तैयार है।
हमारी मांगे जय जय, हमारी मांगे जय जय, जज मांगे लड़के लेंगे, जज मांगे लड़के लेंगे।
नाम मेरा धनंजय कुमार मिश्रा है। मैं डीडी प्रसाद में कॉन्ट्रैक्टर में काम करता हूं और एसीसी होलसेल में के अंतर्गत ठेकेदारी प्रथा में काम कर रहा हूं। आज तक हम 20 साल से मैं सर्विस करते आ रहा हूं और हमारा और कंपनी वाले में तो बहुत ही फ़र्क है, जो कि कंपनी वाले को पेमेंट कुछ अलग है, हम लोग को पेमेंट 2000 से 3000 के बीच में है। और मैं हेल्पर हूँ और अभी तक तो कुछ हम लोग को कोई बेनिफिट नहीं मिलता है।
होलसेम की तानाशाही नहीं चलेगा, नहीं चलेगा, नहीं चलेगा। होलसेम की तानाशाही नहीं चलेगा, नहीं चलेगा, नहीं
The cement industry is a little unique in India because although there has been a lot of private investment in cement here in India, it has never been a public sector stronghold, cement. It has always been, there have always been private sector companies. But a long time ago, somewhere in the 70s, there was joint negotiations of central trade unions with the cement manufacturers associations, and in that process there was something called a cement wage board agreement which came into existence, which was revised from time to time. And right from 1978 there is an agreement that there will be no contract labor in cement production process. Now this is a major step, because although the Indian law has it, the Contract Labour Act has it, that actually you should not employ contract labour where work is permanent and perennial and where it is a necessary part of the production process or incidental to the production process. You shouldn't be engaging contract labour. But actually that is grossly violated. In the cement industry, in addition to the general the general provisions on this account, there is also specifically a cement wage board agreement to which ACC Cement and Ambuja Cement are parties. They have signed that agreement, and that agreement is still in existence. It's unfortunate, extremely unfortunate, that even after a company like Holcim has taken over these companies in 2005, which means that now these are subsidiaries of one of the biggest cement companies in the world. A cement company which, let's say, last year was paying $8 an hour to its workers in Europe, only pays $2 a day to its contract workers working here. I mean, that is a difference of 32 times of wages. So, and even within India, within the plant, the difference between the contract workers and the permanent workers. The contract workers are being paid about 1/3 of what the permanent workers are being paid.
मेरा नाम है आर चक्रवर्ती है। हम एसीसी में 87 से काम कर रहे हैं। हम शुरू में रीगा कलासी में काम करना चालू किए हैं, अभी पीटर का काम कर रहे हैं। हमारा साथ में उस टाइम का कम से कम 15 आदमी थे, मेरा साथ में भर्ती हुए थे। 15 आदमी में 10 ही आदमी हम लोग बचे हैं, पुराना लोग सब चला गए कुछ लोग। और इतना साल से काम करने के बाद हमको 90 में हम लोग को पीएफ काटना चालू हुआ है। उसका बाद कंपनी कुछ कार्रवाई नहीं कर रहा है, अभी तक ठेकेदारी में काम कर रहे हैं। अपन लोग जीने का वेतन भी नहीं मिल रहा है। होलसेल में आने के बाद और ज़्यादा यहाँ मुश्किल हो गया जीना है। कुछ उसका हम लोग जीने का तनख्वाह नहीं दे रहा तो क्या करेंगे, आज हो जाएगा कल हो जाएगा। हाई कोर्ट से फैसला आने के बाद भी इनको नहीं समझ में आता है क्यों क्या करना है। हम लोग को कुछ समझ नहीं आ रहा, वो क्या करना चाह रहा है ये भी समझ नहीं आ रहा है। परमानेंट वर्कर से भी ज़्यादा हम लोग काम करते हैं, वो तो ऐसी सुपरवाइजर टाइप का खड़ा रहता है, बाकी काम तो हम करते हैं, उनका काम भी हम कर लेते हैं। उन लोग नाम के लिए परमानेंट है लेकिन काम के लिए हम लोग ही करते हैं। परमानेंट वाला से हम लोग इतना फ़र्क है, हम लोग को 200 रुपया मिल रहा है, उनको 1000 रुपया मिल रहा है। उनको बच्चा लोग अच्छा इंग्लिश मीडियम पढ़ा रहा है, हम लोग हिंदी मीडियम पढ़ाने में बहुत मुश्किल है। तो फिर भी सरकारी स्कूल में पढ़ाने में मुश्किल है। हम लोग का खाने का कोई ठिकाना नहीं, यहाँ से गाँव से कोई प्रॉब्लम आ जाएगा, हम लोग जाने का सोचते हैं, उससे ले इससे ले, ये सब प्रॉब्लम रहता है। अभी तक इतना साल हो गया हम लोग रेगुलर काम कर रहे हैं लेकिन परमानेंट नहीं कर रहा है। क्यों नहीं कर रहा है ये पूछने से वो जवाब नहीं दे पाता है।
So you have a large number of contract workers who are doing all the difficult work, all the dangerous work, all the work which involves a lot of heat and dust and physical labor and exposure to various kinds of risks. You find contract workers doing that, and on the other hand, you have the permanent workers who now are dwindling so much that in every department, mostly they will be taking on the role of supervision. So they will not really be doing to production work themselves, but they will be supervising the work done by the contract workers. The contract workers have been struggling for a very long time under the leadership of the Pragatishil Cement Shramik Sangh, which is a union basically of contract workers. And this union since now 20 years has been fighting this fight for the permanency of the contract workers and for a life of dignity for them, for equality for them. And first of all, their struggle was that implement the Cement Wage Board, which not only said that you should not have contract labor in cement production, it also said that even where you do employ contract workers, which was permitted only in the loading and unloading of raw material, because that is something which it's difficult to say how many workers you'll require at a particular point of time. Sort of logic to it. Even with regard to those workers where contract labor was permissible, you had that they should be paid at the same rate as the permanent workers. So that struggle was successful. There was a 56-day strike, and the loading unloading workers actually began to get Cement Wage Board rates. And in 2000, the ACC dispute was referred, and in a long battle, this process went on till 2006. In those 6 years, group after group of workers was actually deprived of work and wages. Initially, when the demands had been first raised in the year 1990, there had been 573 workers who had raised the demand. By the time the matter was referred to the court, there were already about 350 of them. Out of these 350, again another 200 during the course of the long litigation were group by group. First the transport workers, then those who were doing unloading and loading, then all those who were being paid Cement Wage Board wages were basically given zero work. In fact, even casual workers means directly employed. Those who were not, there was not even a pretense of employing them through contractors. They were employed directly by the ACC. Even those workers were given zero wages for 10 months together. How do you survive? So they accepted the so-called VRS, that is voluntary retirement, and quit their jobs. In the meantime, however, mostly through the cross-examination of the so-called contractors who were brought into the witness box by the company, it became very clear that all this contractorship is just a paper arrangement.
₹10 5 पैसा रोजी रही, तब के हमन काम करत हन यहाँ। और ओखर बाद में 9 महीना से बैठा दे रही से 2009 से। ओखर बाद में 9 महीना बैठ के हम नेती उती भटके के बाद में हमारा काम में नहीं लाने से करके मतलब फटकार लगा दी कि कहाँ जाना है, जहाँ जाना है वहाँ जाओ, ऐसे करके फिर हम लाल हरा झंडा में जुड़े। ओखर बाद में केस उसे है करे के बाद में 9 महीना के बाद में हमारा काम में ली से तो इधर उधर करके मतलब 3 जगह लेबर ला बाँटी से, एक जगह 2 झीन, एक जगह 3 झीन, एक जगह 4 झीन, एक जगह 3 झीन, ऐसे बांट के हमला काम ला दे वहाँ काम करत हन। और अभी तक से हमला ₹10 5 पैसा रोजी रही, तब से हमन काम करत हन। अभी तक से हमार मन के रोजी हमला मिलते ₹174 मिलते। हमला मतलब वही खाए पिए बराबर। सरकार तो हर चीज़ महंगा कर दे है। जहाँ निरमा ₹40 ₹30 मिलत रही, वहाँ ₹40। तेल के रेट, हर चीज़ के रेट है हमला कम, मतलब खाना पीना के मतलब बराबर, खाए पिए बराबर हो। और वही बात है रे।
So that is how in the year 2006, the industrial court directed that all the workers whose case had been referred there should be made permanent, regular, that they should be, and they should be given the arrears ever since the reference had started, that is 2000. The ACC, by that time it had become Holcim, though it still calls itself ACC, because Holcim, I think, finds an advantage in keeping the ACC and Ambuja are very good brand names, and probably it finds it convenient to retain those brand names. ACC refused to implement that agreement, but they insisted and they went to the High Court. In India, actually, long drawn litigation is one of the big banes of the working class. So they can just litigate and litigate and litigate and go all the way up to the Supreme Court. It might take 20 years. But the industrial court also said that the 200 workers who had been removed during the reference, they have been illegally removed. And actually it was a coercive step to prevent them from becoming regularized. The law says that if workers are directed to be reinstated by the lower court, then when you go to the High Court, you must pay them the last wages. The full wages last drawn must be paid. So they went to the High Court, and even in paying the full wages last drawn, it's very interesting that the ACC decided to interpret this to mean the number of days they were paid on the last month they worked, which may be 2 days or 1 day or 5 days, or for some it was even 0 days. So they were paying this kind of wages, and this is a multinational. In fact, we sometimes find it very strange because the entire arrears of even 100 workers for 10 years, that would be 850 million rupees. But the annual salary of the CEO of Holcim, Mr. Ackerman, in the last year exceeded 10 crores, which means 100 million. So you're paying one man an annual salary, and this is the 10 years arrears of 100 workers, 100 contract workers, and that one man's salary is more. So obviously it is not a question of money. It is a question of sweat labor, and it is a question of squeezing out as much as you can from Indian contract labor. The High Court also, though it did not accept the reinstatement of the workers who had been thrown out, but it did agree that the contracts were sham and bogus, and it did say that those workers who are members of the union and who can establish that fact and who are still working must be regularized. That would be at the most 150 workers, or even less. Again, that is something which is very easy for the Holcim to do, but they have yet to do it.
मैं शंकर लाल यादव यहाँ पर 28 साल से व्यवसाय कर रहा हूँ गाय भैंस का, और अपने परिवार चला रहा हूँ। और यहाँ पर कंपनी द्वारा मेरे को हटाने की कोशिश किया जा रहा है, मेरे मकान छोड़ने की कोशिश किया जा रहा है। इसी के चलते मेरे एक लड़का को भी मारा गया है। ये स्कूल का बाउंड्री वाल है, फैक्ट्री का भी बाउंड्री वाल है। ये सब होते हुए भी मेरे को इतने साल होते हुए, जबकि यहाँ पर कोई बाउंड्री नहीं लगा था। उसके पहले से मेरा मकान बना हुआ है। यहाँ पर कोई बाउंड्री नहीं लगा था, उसके पहले से मकान बना हुआ है। आज मेरे मकान को तोड़ना चाह रहे हैं इन लोग।
पूरा 10-12 आदमी धर के आके घर भीतर घुस गए। घर भीतर घुस के वो किथे मोर आदमी किथे तेल का मतलब है, का बार घुसा था वैसे की। तो वो कहते तय चुपचाप रह रहा के कोला पकड़ ले, जो पकड़ के मूल घर से घसेटत मारत निकाले। चूरी चाकी सब फूटे थे, नोहिम फूटे। उसके तीसरा रोज फिर आके फ्री जूरी सब तोड़ फोड़ पूरा सत्यानाश करे है घर के।
And after that, the union took a decision that they will not be the first ones to litigate, though they had lost out a lot. The High Court had pruned down the relief given by the Industrial Court considerably. But we said that rather than dragging the workers through another round of litigation, we would much prefer to negotiate with the company and so on. ACC and even Holcim has been very reluctant to negotiate with the Pragatishil Cement Shramik Sangh. It's very surprising because you are engaging with us in the courts. We are a legal entity, we are a registered entity. Still, they go around saying, no, but you're not a recognized union. No doubt, there is a concept of a representative union and we are not a representative union. But we are a registered union and under Indian law, you can negotiate with us. And we are perfectly capable of negotiating on behalf of our members. Now the situation is that against the High Court order, they have again appealed to a division bench of the High Court. When we saw that there seemed to be no opportunity, we tried for about for about 3 months. There was a continuous sit-in strike. After the working hours, the workers and their families would come and sit and try to demand that there should be negotiation on the High Court issue, implementation of the High Court order, but that didn't happen. And now the union has also filed an appeal. So now the appeals are pending before the division bench. So we really don't know how long all this is going to go on. But meanwhile, and just an example, Maqbool Ali, he was a transport worker. He used to drive the slag truck. He began work in something like 1975 and his lungs are full of cement dust and slag dust, and he had been directed by the Industrial Court to be regularized. He was not regularized in 2006. He was again directed in the High Court order to be regularized. He was not regularized. He just died last year. And he died basically of asthma because he doesn't have enough money to have proper treatment. So this is what the real cost of this is to human beings.